Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the Ligier, the JS320 LMP3 at the fantastic Hockenheim for yet another track guide. Now, you don't have to, but if you want to race the setup that I'm driving around here in the Open Series, you can, if you wish, go to our website. It is being showcased on the bottom right side of the screen, sambosetups.com, or you can go to our Patreon page if you prefer Patreon. They are all curated by real-life racing drivers, and we are getting some fantastic feedback from the 160 plus people that have joined us in the last month and a half. So thanks for all the support. Anyway, any questions, let me know in the comments, and let's start the hot lap. We are smashing it down the main straight, looking for our entry into turn one, which is going to be the 50. We don't get too hard on the brakes, a little bit bumpy on exit, but that is the fastest way through there. This time we're looking for the 100 board just before we get there. On the brakes up to about 80%, long trail off, down to second gear. Second gear is definitely the gear through there. Flat out as we go through turn 4. I'll stay over to the left-hand side through the parabolica. And once more, we're going to be looking for just before the 100. And once more, we're going to be braking quite hard initially. Up to 90% there, going to drop it all the way down to first gear. It seems to take forever to get around that corner, but just be patient with the throttle and the brake. Going to go flat out through turn 7. Head over to the right-hand side now, just before this roadway. On the brakes up to about 85%. Second gear again for this corner. Don't hit the sausage curb on the left-hand side. Now we're just going to do a lift as we go through turn 10. Don't hit that sausage curb on the left, the red one there. Now we're getting on the brakes, only up to about 15%. Back on the gas in fourth gear, plenty of room on the exit. On the brakes at the 50 this time. And again, we're just dropping it down to second. Very slippy mid-corner here. Now over to the left-hand side, only on the brakes for about 30%. Long trail off, back on the gas, and then just a lift through the final corner. Back on the gas in third. Exit nice and wide, and over across the line we go in a 1:33.8. Right, breakdown lap coming up next. Okay, breakdown lap. So the first braking marker is just before the 50 board coming up, so it's probably at the 75, just between the 50 and the 100. As we go through there, we only got the brakes up to about 15%. Stick in fifth gear, try and avoid that sausage curb on the right hand side that I'm just getting nice and close to there. Now, if you do go out as far as me, this is as far as you can go out. It is going to be a little bit bumpy. Just be aware of that. You can take slightly more brake and slow the corner down, but it is a lot easier. Next braking marker, it's going to be just before the 100 board. So you can see the 100 board there. Another way to look at it is just before this Marshall's post on the left hand side that's painted orange. Yeah, on the brakes, we go briefly up to about 85%. We trail it off down to second, and we want to get nice and tight to, see that sausage curb? Nice and tight to the sausage curb without actually hitting it. Absolutely flat through here, but taking a little bit of rumble strip with us. Right, for the next turn, again, just before the 100 board, and this is a tricky corner just to try and get it slowed and rotated in time. So don't carry too much speed into it, otherwise you're never going to rotate. Alternatively, you also don't want to turn in too early, because then your exit's going to be horrific. Then 7's a lot nicer. So we're going to turn in midway along this rumble strip on the left-hand side. I'm going to take a little bit of curb with us. Next braking marker, it's just before the entrance road on the right here, or midway along this white and blue curbing on the right hand side. So there you go. And again, I hit 83% peak pressure, dropping it down to second gear. Now we're going to start this turn in and just do a lift here as we go through turn 10. And this is a very slippy corner on cold tyres. So I've done an out lap, a push lap. This is my second push lap here. So my tyres are in perfect working order. Now this is tricky because there's no specific braking marker that we can kind of look for, but it's midway between where I am now and the cones. As you can see, I'm going to start the turn in and I'm just going to go on the brakes at about 15%. And I keep on the brakes until now. So I'm just starting to see the exit the corner back onto 100%. And again, absolutely fine out here, about 1.5 foot over to the left of me, and it is an off track. 50 board, or just before the 50 board, is when we're going to go on the brakes here into turn 12. This is a slightly easier corner, even though it looks quite tricky. We drop it down to second, but this bit just here is quite slippy. It is with this very quick setup. Right, over to the left-hand side now. Once we get into the sort of dark patch that you can see my car on, that's when we get on the brakes, we hit 30%, long trail off, getting back up on the gas once you can see this yellow horizontal line in front of us. And now we're wanting to get to the outside of the curbs here, turn in, and we do a lift down to 0, and now we're back onto 100. That's just to get the rear rotated and the nose pointed in the right direction. So that is a breakdown lap of the LMP3 at Hockenheim, and we have got one final version coming up next with the driving line on.